Hi, my loves. Today, I want to talk about love and what it really means for a man when he's falling in love and how to really determine if a man loves you. This is really important information because as women, we are super empathetic. We love love. And oftentimes we misunderstand what true love means to a man. And we invest so much time, energy into the wrong men, and we end up feeling heartbroken. And so it's really important to understand that for love, effort needs to be made for one, and words are not enough. Even if a man says to us, "Oh, I love you," we really want to make sure that the actions are backing that up and not the easy actions. It's nice when a man calls, when he initiates dates, when he pursues, great. All of that feels amazing. It doesn't even necessarily mean that a man truly loves you if he has kids with you, if he moves in with you, even if he marries you, surprisingly. All of those he just does out of convenience, or he feels obligated, or he feels like he needs to give it a chance, or you've been together for so long. So he just like thinks it's the next step. It doesn't necessarily mean that a man truly loves you. In this video, I want to get into like the two things that are really, really important to look at to determine, okay, well, does he love me? And if he's not doing these two things, then I would argue that he's probably not in it for the right reason. And honestly, you'd feel it. As women, we have this instinct where we really know when a man loves us. Like we feel it and we know. And when something is missing and something is off, like immediately we can sense it in our gut and it doesn't feel good. And so always honor that feeling. And when you have that feeling, you can also like pair it with this video to see, well, has he done these things for me? And maybe these things that I'm mentioning are actually not present. So maybe he doesn't love me in the way that I thought he did. And maybe he doesn't love me in the way that he even thought that he did. Because oftentimes men don't really know until they've met the one that they really, really love this woman. It's only when they're overcoming certain challenges within themselves that they determine, okay, I really love this woman. Because the masculine is all about overcoming challenges and facing obstacles. And when he can do that, especially with the woman, that's what signifies to him that he really, really loves you. The number one thing is that a man is going to move through his fear of commitment. So all men are afraid of commitment. And more importantly, what they're afraid of is they're afraid of losing their freedom and they're afraid of losing their autonomy. So a man, when he is like ready to meet the woman that he wants to be with, he's going to have to face these commitment fears within him. And if a man is just like ready to give you a ring and ready to marry you, that's a red flag because most healthy men, I would argue all healthy men, even if they've met the one, they're going to encounter some fears within that might make them sabotage their relationship unconsciously. But of course, if a woman handles this stage correctly, it'll just deepen his level of commitment to her because usually when a man starts to sabotage unconsciously, a woman that is really in her worth won't pressure him. She'll really remove herself. This is what I talk about on my channel. I always talk about space and absence because when it comes to love and it comes to marriage and commitment and all the things that we want, and even with the masculine, he's not necessarily going to know how to treat you or to treat a woman that's in her feminine energy because he's being coddled and he's in this environment where everyone just gives him what he wants. And that's to no fault of his own. I mean, as women, I always say that we have to be careful how much we give ourselves up for a man, especially earlier on, because a man gets used to this. And when he's been getting what he wants from a young age, from his mom, his sisters, people don't really tell him when he's wrong. He's not really held accountable. When he meets a woman that he loves, he's going to face these hurdles with her where he's going to have expectations of her to give herself up unconsciously because that's what he's used to. And a woman that really is in her worth or in her feminine power is not going to be like okay with that. When a man really meets a woman that he loves, there's going to be commitment fear. So if a man is giving you a ring very early on, is wanting to marry you, wanting all these things right away, there's a sign there that he could be in his feminine. There might be trauma from the past. And also, and it doesn't matter how amazing you are as a woman, like a healthy man that's in his masculine is never going to come on strong, like ever. So it's a red flag if a man is coming on strong, because even if you are like the catch of the century, a man that's in his healthy energy, you want him to like mirror you. So like you don't want a man that is not going to be confident. Even if you have a level of confidence within you, you're going to attract and be attracted to men that are confident, which means that they're not going to put it all out there how interested they are in you. It's going to take time and there's going to be a building up process that happens for a man that is really in a like healthy energy. When it comes to moving through a fear of commitment, living with you and moving into those steps, a man doesn't really have commitment fears with that if he's wanting to do it quickly. What you want to look out for is where is he in his life? Is he already successful? Has he already attained a certain level of wealth? Is he good with where he's at? Because if he's not, and you have an asset or you have like a level of wealth, when he wants to move in with you or he wants to do these next steps of commitment that obviously as women we want, what you want to think about is, well, what am I gaining from this relationship? Am I the one that is putting more of a down payment in? Is he moving into my home? Why does he want to do that? Usually what will happen is when a man has an asset, when a man has gone through things in his life and in relationships, when he moves to a space where he's ready to commit to a woman in that way, he's going to face challenges in that he might not want to give up the house. He might not want to relocate. There's going to be fears that come up for him. It's not something that he's just going to be able to do like very quickly. Even when it comes to engagement or marriage, a man is going to have fears. So even if he knows you're the one, if he is rushing to do that, meaning there's no hurdles or there's no battles that he's facing within, that doesn't mean that you're so great. Okay. It just means that there's wounding within him that's making him want to attach onto you. There's like something unhealthy going on because, again, even if you're so amazing, a man is always going to like doubt himself and feel afraid of giving up his autonomy and his freedom. There's always going to be a little bit of that. And you want to see that. You want to see that a man is wrestling with the idea of commitment and a man is wrestling with the idea of taking things to the next step. You want to see that because when a man is overcoming his commitment fears, that's how you know that he really, really loves me. Because think about how difficult it is when we want to do something new or we are faced with some sort of challenge. If we really want to attain the thing that we want, we're going to have to move past the fear. And the fear is a good thing. The fear means that it's right. And it's just moving past that fear that's going to get us to like the next level. If we're not feeling that feeling of fear, then that just means that this is too easy. Maybe this isn't the right thing. It's ego. You always want to see that a man is moving through his commitment fears. Also, with men, they're going to want to make sure that a woman checks all the boxes for them. Every woman is different. Every man has like a different idea of what his dream woman is. A woman has to pass certain tests. And again, this is unconscious. He's not thinking about this in order for a man to know that this is a woman that I want to commit to. And every man has a different idea of what his dream woman is and what qualities she possesses. And oftentimes it's when a man steps back that he can really evaluate, is this like the right woman for me? So you just want to make sure that you are the best version of yourself, as I always say, because you want to know what you bring to the table. Because if a man does pull back and he moves into his fears, you're not going to move into this like reactionary place with a man. Also, commitment to a man is not having kids or moving in together. For men, and I always say this, like they're going to be biologically wired to want to have a child. And so that's why you see that there are men that have children with many women. And that's not necessarily because the man knows that this is the one. In fact, I've spoken to so many men where like they've had kids prematurely, or for them, it was not even that the woman wanted the child, it was that he was ready for that step. And this woman was just a woman that showed up. It was like the timing of it. And a lot of you will know that a man can have a child with you, but he's not there. You might be separated, you might be divorced, or you might not have even gotten to that step. So having a child with a man is not going to necessarily solidify his commitment. Even being married to a man. In terms of commitment, like being married for a man is the ultimate commitment if it's not forced and if it's not for any other reason aside from a man knowing that this is the woman for me. If he's been in a relationship with you for many, many years and there's no engagement or marriage on the table, that's something that you want to look at because oftentimes a man will marry a woman just because he's been with her for like a long amount of time. Usually, and again, it depends on like the age of a man and the stage of where he's at in his life. A man should know within the first year if a woman is like the one. He'll know actually very early on. And then, depending on how a woman carries herself, he'll actually move into engagement and then eventually marriage. It won't come from a place where a man's been with you for so many years and now this is just like the next step. It doesn't work like that for men. If a man is just getting married to you because you guys have been together for so long and now it's just like the next step, well, that's not coming from a deep place within him. It's coming from societal pressures. He doesn't want to hurt you. He feels bad. Ultimately, for a man, him moving through his fear of commitment is important and marriage is important. The ultimate test of a man loving you is marriage, 100%, but it has to come from a place where he's sort of wrestling with it and it's not something that he easily wants to give up. Meaning, most men, even though deep down they want a wife and they want marriage and they want that one woman, they are not going to give up their freedom and their autonomy just to be married. It has to be the right woman. And when it's the right woman, they're still going to grapple with feelings of fear, insecurity. What if it doesn't work out? They're going to grapple with that. And even like the fear of what if this is not what I thought it was going to be? Like there's just different fears that men experience. And so even though marriage is the ultimate commitment to a man, it depends on the way that the marriage unfolded and the marriage happened. If you're not seeing that a man is wrestling with it, there's no fears coming up, and it's just too easy, well, that's something that I would look at. The second way that you know that a man really loves you, and if he's not doing this, he doesn't love you, is if he's willing to change for you. Here's the caveat, even into marriage, and this is what I meant, where just because you get married to someone doesn't mean that they truly love you. Marriage requires a lot out of both parties. It's a big commitment and it really requires sacrifice and change. And if a man is not able to change for you and he's not able to shift who he is to accommodate you and to make you comfortable, then he doesn't truly love you. So if a man is not willing to change his behaviors and to adjust things in his life that he doesn't want to adjust, but that he has to adjust because if he doesn't, it means losing you. He doesn't really love you. If a man is like marrying you for the benefits of being married, which is intimacy, let's say you're paying the bill, you're doing all the cleaning, you're doing all the cooking, and you ask him to contribute more. Let's say he's playing video games all the time and you ask him, like, I want more quality time or whatever it is that you need from him. If he's not doing those things, he doesn't really love you and he's in the relationship as a means to an end. And I know this really hurts to hear. And this is why it's important to establish from the beginning, like in your relationship, him pursuing you and to establish all these things from the very start so that you're not in a situation where you've given up so much of yourself and there's all these red flags, but now it's too late because now you're married to him. And it's very difficult to change a man once you're married because at that point, unless you're the type of woman that is willing to separate herself no matter what, which I am, I'm the type of woman that even if I'm married, which I am now, I'm always going to remove myself from any situation that doesn't feel good to me if I feel that there's repeated attempts of communication and it's not working. And oftentimes with men, it takes that level of urgency for men to change something in their life that they don't want to change. Because again, men want to conserve their energy. And when you're a feminine woman or you're a good woman, you will be agreeable and you're going to be really reasonable. And oftentimes, if a man doesn't want to change something, it takes you walking away to really make certain shifts in his life. And that's not necessarily that the man is bad. It's just, and again, it depends on the nature of the relationship and what you're asking of him. Bigger things will take more from a man and more from you to get those adjustments to be made. Smaller things like date night, helping around the house, paying the bills, those things should come freely and easily from a man. I'm talking about like the bigger things like changing in his like behavior, changing certain relationships in your life that might affect you, those big things. And those big things are what you want to look at because those are the things that will signify to you that like if he's able to amend those things will signify to you that okay, this guy really loves me. Okay, my loves, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.